Hey, how are you? This is Aaron McKay with Bird Be Gone coming back with another installment of Ask an Expert. So today we are joined by my esteemed co-host, Mike Dougherty and Scott Swanson. How are you guys doing?
So good. So good to be here.
Doing good today. Nice traffic out there.
Yeah, so how are you guys navigating the pandemic? How's that treating you so far?
It's been working pretty good at home. It's pretty mellow. I'm up in the hills near Orange Park Acres, and it's very, very mellow, so haven't really seen anything too crazy.
You know, for me, everybody's been, on the phone all the time, so I've talked to more people in the last couple months than I have probably in the last year of working at Bird Be Gone, so I've kind of enjoyed it a little bit. Business is good, friendships are good, and I will say I can't wait till this is all over and we can get back out and see some people in person, but all in all, really good.
Love it. Well, today we're talking about, we're having a fun conversation. We want to learn a little bit more about you guys. So what do you love about bird control? When you come into work every single day, what are you passionate about doing? What keeps you ticking?
Man, how much time do you got? I think with between Mike and I, we've probably got, almost 50 years of
I'm going 20,
experience
20,
in bird control.
Right there with you, man.
So that could be a super long conversation, but for me personally, it's always been about service. And, starting when I did with Bruce, Little Bird Be Gone, sneaking up on 22, 23 years ago.
Wow.
I was fortunate to meet some people in our industry early on and just develop some great friendships. There's a bunch of names that come to mind. Dr. Chris Christensen, Paul Skamaka. I can just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
And they've just become lifelong friends. So helping these people to either succeed at their current business or to develop in their own businesses, and to help them provide for their families and take care of their families. I mean, that's really for me what it's all about. It's just serving. And this is just the way that my path has kind of turned out and the way that I can serve people.
Yeah.
Mike?
That's pretty much how I feel about it as well. It's that it's the people aspect of it, helping someone take something that they're unsure of. They've called in and they're asking for advice, and you talk them through it, and they understand it, and then they're helping their customers, and they feel the same way about it as well, as helping that person through and solve a problem.
Yep.
That's the most satisfying part of it, hands down. Yeah.
So what do you guys make of kind of the creativity necessary to be in bird control, right? Because at least in my short experience in being exposed to the world of pest control in general and bird control specifically, no situation is the same, right?
Yeah, and for me, one of the other things actually to go back to the previous question was, or is, that it's always different. There's always something new. So every day you come to the office and you pick up that telephone, you don't know what it's going to be. So it could be, somebody with a robin on their windowsill or a giant bird job. So it's just you just never really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that once you think you've heard it all, that one call comes in and surprises you like a turkey vulture landing on someone's fountain in the back or a statue. It seems to get further and fewer between, but there's always that one that comes through that you're just like, I've never heard that one before.
Right.
The real fun ones are the ones that aren't bird related, right?
Yes.
It's
people related.
Or just whatever. I've got a squirrel on my bird feeder. What do we do? So it's a squirrel call.
There's lots of videos on that.
Yeah, so many. So.
Yeah, I think Jeff got a call last week about iguanas and our
right.
bird jolt flat track. So we get some interesting inquiries around here.
It's always fun.
Yeah. So what about working with the team, the Bird Be Gone team? How's that been for you guys?
Well, we come from different teams. Mike and I. He was on one team before and joined our team.
Whoa.
Yeah,
but both teams are okay. But we say it's faith, family, friends.
Yep.
And when we first threw that out there, I've got to admit, if I'm being honest, and it's just you guys, right? It's just us three here.
No one else is watching.
If I'm honest, it kind of felt like a marketing thing, right? It's like, but it's Bruce, the owner of Bird Be Gone, spot on. I mean, because it really is. I don't think I've ever gone one day here where it hasn't felt like family. And this is, coming from working in a garage to, having our own manufacturing facility. And regardless of who it is, whether it's somebody working a machine or somebody shipping orders, it really is family. So the team is cool. It's a team, but it truly is family. Yeah. And I think our family is very big, right? I mean, it's not just the people here at Bird Be Gone. It's customers too. So
yeah, it's good. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, as of coming back in January, it really felt like coming home back to my family. Took a little sabbatical for a little while, but it really did feel like coming home and joining back with the family. That was a very good feeling. I felt really good about it. Yeah. And we have our moments where we may disagree, but that's what families do.
we never ever disagree. I have no idea what you're talking
about. I remember one time we did
just one time. We all disagreed on the same thing, right?
Right. So how about? And I'm putting you guys on the spot here because it's fun to hear the spontaneous answers. What's one of the funnest projects you've been able to work on over the years? Because both of you guys have consulted, supported, or maybe even gone onto the job site and helped with your hands. What's been the funnest project? What comes to mind?
I think I know one.
Which one's
well,
that?
Years ago, maybe 15, 16 years ago, got a call from a water district in Florida that was having issues with birds in their ponds and rivers and streams, and they said, come on out. It's going to be a big project, and you get out and there's just weeds and foliage and all the birds are hiding in, and there's just it's crazy. But the time we spent in that at trying to develop, and then of course it went from birds to water, the fish and all sorts of things. So it just became this great big giant thing. They were a great customer for a lot of years. We kind of helped solve their bird problem. But I think the funnest part of that was just all the different directions we went, the tangents that lizards and how do we help the lizards, and there's an endangered frog, so we've got to take care of the endangered frog. All this crazy stuff. So I'd say for me
that's weird. I asked myself that question last week. How do we help the lizards
and the endangered frogs? Right. What can Bird Be Gone do?
Right. I have a pet lizard that comes on my patio and named him Oscar.
Hey, that's awesome.
I think one of the and as far as a fun project, going down and teaching the guys how to cut the net was an interesting one. That was fun. Learning, talking to the guys where we do all our net cutting and teaching them how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was. It's hard work to cut that net, but gained some better relationships with the guys down there. They're out there cutting our net and shipping our net, and it's nice to get to know that side of it too.
Yep.
But as a notable one that I looked at, a big netting job is out in Cheyenne, Wyoming, at a train depot where they're fixing a bunch of trains. I got a close-up look of the big boy. The biggest steam engine ever made.
Oh, that's cool.
Close up and personal, and it's pretty darn hard to take a picture of something like that with a camera phone.
Man, that's crazy.
But just recently they're opening up the museum with the big boy and the other one, 1422 or whatever that number is. So that got netted off, and I have yet to go visit it as finished, but.
How is it? I just want to know. I don't mean to interrupt you, but how is it that you and Watts always get to do all the cool stuff? I'm in a river, up to my waist, and dirty river water, and Watts goes to Jamaica. He's been to Hawaii, I think.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, all these. I think you even got to go to Hawaii your first job here.
I did. Yeah, I went to Hawaii literally 2 weeks on the job. That was a couple of years ago now. I'm like, I'm going to Hawaii for a couple of weeks. So this is great. So way to start the business. But I got out there and learned how difficult doing net installation was. We went out there to train some people, and I ended up basically doing a significant portion of the install personally. So it's learned the business by fire, and I was a broken human being.
And there are pictures to prove it, I think, too, right?
Yep.
I mean,
I might need to throw one up here.
I think you got to do that. Absolutely. That was an awesome picture.
That's our next one. We should have all of us doing an install on a net.
Right. So for people that maybe are looking to get into the bird control business, because we've been talking about the things that you're passionate about when it comes to bird control, what are some of the consistent motivators you hear from people that are exploring bird control? Why are people getting into it? What's driving them?
So there's a few questions I think you threw in there.
So many.
There's like 8 or 10 of them, and
12.
I think I can remember 2, but no, I think why people get into it, and I think Mike can support this, is that for guys that are already in a service related business, it's such a such an easy transition to go from whatever it may be to bird control.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not difficult. I mean, there are some difficult jobs and some difficult projects you're going to run into, but it's really not very difficult. And we're here for them. Yeah. So I mean, I think that was one of the 10 questions that you snuck in.
There's one. Yeah.
But it's truly. I mean, Bird Be Gone is such a great resource, and it's really it's pretty easy to be successful at bird control. Yeah. Especially with our help.
Yeah.
So Mike, I don't know what it.
I got one of the biggest requests or wants that I hear from the service managers and the branch managers. I really need a bird guy. I go, I wish I could pull one out of my pocket and give you one. Yeah. But my advice is always to look within their organizations and find the person that likes figuring stuff out on the spot.
That's good.
That guy that's sort of self-starting and not afraid to get on a ladder above 6 feet. That does seem to be the best bird guys. And then having that guy and keeping that one same person doing, a majority of the bird jobs, and then continuity, and then they eventually teach the other people how to do that. Yep. So those are the people that I see that are successful at bird control. The scenarios that aren't as successful as they change up the person they put on the bird job every time, and that learning doesn't necessarily get shared as much as if you kind of designate that first person to your bird control crew. Yeah.
Do you ever get calls from guys that just don't want to do it?
Absolutely.
And they're looking for help?
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy, right? I understand it, I get it, but there are some guys that, and I've been talking recently with a pest control operator in Arkansas, great guy, got a great business, just doesn't want to do birds, right? And so he called looking for some help with that, but for me, I have a hard time understanding that. It's if you want to grow, maybe just. But I get all the problems: hiring people, training people, all of that. But I mean, do you run across that at all?
Yeah. There's people that just flat out don't want to do it, and that's okay, because they're in the pest control or wildlife industry. You probably know someone who does do it and is good at it, and some people do referrals, and it works really well that way for some people, and that's okay.
Right.
Not everybody does termite, or not everybody does general pests.
Right.
That's in our pest control, wildlife control realm, and there's lots of guys that are good at it, but not everybody does it, and that's okay. We're here to help connect those, because even if you don't do it, you're going to get a call someday, somewhere along the line, and no need to turn it down.
That's good. I think one of the consistent kind of personality traits that I've seen from all the customers I've had the honor of working with over the last couple of years is that most of the people we work with are just deeply creative. Literally, they're finding solutions to a problem they've never faced before. So I think for me personally, that's one of the things that makes me enjoy this job. Is every day is different because I have to learn. I have to come up with a new solution to a problem that we haven't faced before, and that's, I think, a unifying personality trait for a lot of our customers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me today. Stay tuned for next week's installment of Bird Be Gone, Ask an Expert. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks everybody.
Mike.
Yep.
Thank
bet.
you.
See you
Bye,
guys.
everybody.